poll shows that Ron DeSantis beating Donald Trump in New Hampshire. So depending on where you stand on the whole Trump-Ron DeSantis debate, this is either a good thing or a bad thing. I think it could actually be disastrous because Trump might be terrible, but he's also incredibly incompetent and not tactful at all. Ron DeSantis, also pretty terrible and much more tactful. I'll make my case in a moment, but first let's get to the results of this poll. This is a recent study of New Hampshire voters, and it showed that if DeSantis and Trump do run against each other, it's actually gonna be a very close race, okay? So when provided with a list of Republicans who are thought by observers to be considering running for president in 2024, likely New Hampshire Republican primary voters are split between DeSantis and Trump, with 39% preferring the Florida governor and 37% supporting the former president. Less than 10% would support former Vice President Mike Pence, that's again 9%. Former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley at an embarrassing 6%. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo at an also embarrassing but very gratifying 1%. And then South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem at 1%, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz at 1%. God, these people are just
so embarrassing.
Clowns of clowns.
Stop running for president.
It's too funny.
They know who you are and
no,
they don't like you.
Keep doing it, keep doing it.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be
like
really
it.
funny. Ted Cruz, actually, yes, please run. It'll be hilarious and we need it.
Now, DeSantis did a little creepy. Like he creeped up the polls over the last year. So I wanna show that to you right now. This is from the University of New Hampshire. They're the ones who did this study. So if you look at July of 2021, clearly there's a big difference for DeSantis if you fast forward to June of 2022. So Donald Trump went from 47% in July of 2021 to 43% in October of 2021 to just 37% in October of 2022. Then you look at Ron DeSantis, he went from 19% in July of 2021 to 18% in October of that year to 29% in June of 2022.
Yeah.
So Trump slipping in pre-primary polls is part of a typical pattern. This is according to Andrew Smith, who's the director of the University of New Hampshire Survey Center. A party's losing candidate in the prior election is typically the best known person in their party. As the primary gets closer, new candidates emerge and attract more media attention and therefore more voter attention than the losing candidate from the previous election. I mean, like, yes, those are typical trends, but I think we shouldn't always just rely on like, oh, here's what the trend tends to be. Like Trump kind of upended a lot of those trends, so.
Yeah, so if you had to guess, how interested am I in this?
I guess 0%, because that's your first comment about it.
No, I really like it actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, for like 20 different reasons. So there's so many things you have to consider. One, this is New Hampshire, which is different than other states when it comes to evaluating Republicans. So the trends for Republicans in New Hampshire or Democrats in New Hampshire, very different than other states, even other states in the Northeast, so bear that in mind. We need way more polls, by the way. That's all true. Bear in mind, we are at a point of the least Trump that we've had in literally years, but he will begin campaigning again at some point, and so that could throw things off. But can we put up the actual chart?
Yeah.
There's a couple things that I want to mention there that I thought were so fascinating.
This is totally John's wheelhouse.
It is actually my wheelhouse. So I love everything. I want to start at the bottom. Ted Cruz, in July of last year, they're like, we don't like that guy. October of last year, we don't like that guy. June of this year, we really don't like that guy.
Yeah, we like him.
He's losing ground, you doofus.
Oh, I love it.
I like that when you look at the Mike Pence numbers, it looks like he got a bit of the few Republicans that don't want the vice president to be assassinated by their president. He's really solidified that group. That's good. And Ron DeSantis has jumped up. Now, why is that? Well, look, he's been making news, but he's been making news for some time. What is the big difference between October of last year and June of this year? I think it's that it's not even the COVID stuff, because he had been doing the anti-vaccine, I want to kill literally every grandparent in Florida stuff for quite a while at that point. You get the jump that he got by trying to take the LGBTQ plus community and throw them in a wood chipper. to fuel your political ambitions. That's how Ron DeSantis got that jump that he got.
Yep.
He is a big national figure because he hates that community more than anyone else, and he is seen by boneheaded Republicans as the only guy that will save your kids from the fact that literally every elementary school teacher in this country wants to have sex with him. It's madness. It is absurd that that's what their ideology is. That is basically the extent of Republican conservative ideology. And he is the winner on that right now. And I don't think at some point it's gonna not be lost on Trump that that's the case. And so Trump, who hasn't been that vocal recently, and when he has been, hasn't really focused on the trans community or the LGBT+ community. Although notice in the faith and freedom thing last week, he did make some comments attacking the trans community. I predict he is going to go so hard against that community soon. He is going to come out swinging because he cannot have Ron DeSantis be the culture warrior on the right.
Oh God, it's
It is
so
going
depressing.
to get so disgusting.
It is, yeah. No, you're absolutely right about that. It makes my stomach hurt thinking about it. What also should make everyone's stomach hurt is the fact that Joe Biden is not the best candidate to run against either Trump or DeSantis.
Yeah.
And this, honestly, this survey, this study, I should say, proves that. President Joe Biden won the state of New Hampshire in 2020. That context is important, by 8 percentage points over former President Biden.
They mean Trump there.
Yeah, Trump, yeah, that's a typo. So Biden did win that state over Trump. If a rematch of this contest were held today, Biden holds an almost identical lead. 50% say they would vote for Biden and 43% say they would vote for Trump. Now, grand staters are evenly divided in a potential contest between Joe Biden and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. 47% say that they would vote for DeSantis and 46% say they would vote for Biden.
Well, I'm sure that people will like Biden a lot more in 2 years.
Yeah, it's bleak, folks.
It's
very,
bleak.
very bleak.
That is why Biden should announce, I'm not going to be running. He should say it now so that we can have a long, drawn out, protracted, vigorous primary. That's what we need on the Democratic side.
Yeah, he should stay committed to what he told the American people he was gonna do, which was not seek re-election. But I think most people knew he was full of it when he said that.